Hi everyone and welcome to Just Love. My name is Paula and I'm here with Judy. Hi Judy.
Hi Paula, hi everyone.
In our next few episodes of Just Love, we will be discussing Judy's new book entitled A Zeta Mission. So Judy, who is this book for and why did you write it?
Okay, my new book, A Zeta Mission, is mainly aimed at star kids in the 9 to 15 age bracket, but the few adults who've read it have thoroughly enjoyed it and even learned some things from it, as it's also aimed at the parents of star kids. More and more of these special children are coming forward now, and they're very different from average Earth human children, so they really do need deeper understanding, both of themselves and also by their parents, to help them to cope with life down here on Earth.
So how different are they and what makes them different?
They're different in that they have much deeper sensitivity, which can make life very challenging for both themselves and their families. This comes out of the fact that they carry more off-planet DNA in their genetic makeup. The reason for this is that they're products of the hybrid program that's been going on since before the 1950s.
And the reason for this?
The planetary shift from fourth to fifth world consciousness. This is huge and has taken many years of preparation. I was one of these kids born in the early 1950s, so I know exactly what it's like to be one. This planetary shift will have the effect of moving Earth-plane humanity away from all the xenophobic prejudice and intolerance and into a state of unconditional love and oneness. This being the case, these young ones have a huge job ahead of them.
So Judy, what is something that you wish to share with anyone who resonates with the words that you've written in this book? What is the one thing that you would want them to know to allow them to live their best life? But knowing you and your great teachers, it will turn into 3 things, no doubt.
Sure, yeah, it has to be 3 things, and 3 for luck. So firstly, these young ones need to understand clearly that there is so much lying and fake news going on, specifically to cause fear and to stir up the worst in humans. Use your deeper ET senses to feel into the energy behind everything you read or hear and ask yourself, is it coming from love and empowerment or fear? Secondly, try to keep yourself in as healthy a state as possible by eating sensibly, not getting sucked into eating all the unhealthy takeout rubbish that's pushed at you constantly, and don't get drawn into taking drugs. That's just the planetary controllers trying to mess with your mind. It's way better for you to develop your higher sensing through meditation. Thirdly, teach yourself to think positively rather than negatively. As you probably know already, being a star kid, we create our reality through the way we think and focus our mind. So always do your best to choose positive thoughts over negative thoughts.
Judy, you raised a very important point earlier, mentioning the parents of these star children. Can you speak to us about how your parents coped with you as a child? Did you did choose to remain aware of your off-planet connection while you were a child, but you still had the connection, and this often played out on an unconscious level for you. Can you share some stories of how your parents coped with some of the things that you went through?
Yes, Paula, even though I purposely blocked my ET connection through my childhood, I was very careful of my pre-birth choice of parents. Pre-birth, I was operating very decisively through my higher soul self, choosing the dual soul connection to enable me to carry out ambassadorial work between Earth humans and Greys. This planning included the parents I'd need to assist this, along with life experiences I'd need as preparation. Like many star children, I was super sensitive to noise. Back then, road repairs used to involve jackhammers powered by a machine called a compressor, and these were extremely noisy. I was terrified of them, so my mum used to have to cross over to the other side of the road, as there was no way I'd walk past one of these things. My other problem was school. My home life was happy, as both parents were very gentle, kind people, but many school teachers back then were not, so punishment by cane or ruler for mistakes in schoolwork was the norm. I was absolutely terrified of this, along with all the playground noise and bullying. I found it very hard relating to other children. I used to be vomiting nearly every morning with anxiety, along with getting nosebleeds. My parents had also both hated school and were totally sympathetic, so I rarely made it through a whole week of school without missing at least one day. I know they felt awful having to make me go, but of course they had no choice. They got me there as regularly as they could. As a teenager, I only ever attended one disco because, again, the noise and the flashing lights. I don't go to cinemas because of this. The volume is always up too high. I don't like the surround sound thing. Once I escaped school at the earliest possible age, my upstairs family got me into dancing, which I really took to. That's a real grey thing. Author Whitley Strieber talks about this in his book, The Secret School. After a sleep paralysis experience around this time, I started becoming aware of this outside help coming from somewhere.
Wow, that's so interesting. Why do you think that you're extra sensitive to loud noise and harsh lights? Does it come back to the fact that you carry more off-planet DNA in your genetic makeup, which makes it a struggle to acclimate?
Yes, for sure. All humans on Earth have off-planet DNA in their genetic makeup, but some of us have a bit more. This off-planet DNA is what science down here labels junk DNA. Because it's from a higher off-planet dimension, it vibrates at a higher frequency that Earth plane technology can't register properly. At the same time, and as Australian author and researcher Mary Rodwell talks about in her book entitled The New Human, on page 220 in chapter 14, she talks about how science is now starting to acknowledge a third strand of DNA that's been activated in some of these children. But yes, to answer your question, the extra off-planet genetics enables deeper sensitivity to energy, and of course everything in the universe is energy, including light and sound.
So as a child and a teenager, it was difficult for you with loud noises and harsh flickering lights. So what is it like for you now? How do you feel about it all now compared to how it was for you growing up?
I'm still the same. This is why I don't go to cinemas still. Even surround sound systems that some people have in their homes are irritating to me. I try to stay out of crowds too. I have trouble coping with all the mixed energies. At the same time, it's handy to be able to read people's energy, especially when it comes to big things like casting my political vote. Here in Australia, voting is compulsory, which is a good thing as it makes people think and choose. Although the choice we have isn't always so good, I'm sometimes tempted to just write across the paper, don't like any of them. I think a lot of people actually do that. At the same time, it shocks me to the core that so many people just can't read the energy of some of these clowns as opposed to what's coming out of their mouths. Some religious leaders are the same. We had one here some years ago who was very high up in the church, who was admired by many people, but I never felt comfortable with his energy. Turned out he was a paedophile.
Sometimes it's not easy to see. They are masters at pulling the wool over our eyes. Still, it is a beautiful world and it is unfolding as it should. And as the beautiful poem Desiderata tells us, with all its sham, drudgery and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be cheerful, strive to be happy. And on that note...
That's for sure. Try to think as positively as you can and remember everything balances out karmically in the end.
Yes.
So, if you'd like to read more, all my books are available from Amazon and can be accessed through links on my website listed below. They are Human by Day, Zeta by Night, followed by the Zeta Message, then Extraterrestrial Presence on Earth, Lessons in History, and my two most recent books, both Kindle editions and both also available in German, An Interview with an Alien, Comments by an Undercover ET, and Cosmic Spirituality, Blending Religion and Science in Oneness from an Off-Planet Perspective.
Thanks very much, Jude, and thank you everyone for listening. Please share, like and subscribe. Sending you all much love and bye for now.